Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the Solar Plexus Self-Care class. This is video 2 of the series. We just did an introduction of what we're doing within this class, a bunch of different self-care tools to love on you. And we also just briefly said what all the chakras names are and the different emotional qualities to each. We just barely skimmed the surface of that. I just wanted to point out that there are over 114 chakras within the human body, 72,000 nadis, which is different energy channels that we process our emotions with and process our prana or life force. And most people focus on the main 7, but everybody has a different approach. Some people like to focus on a handful of different other ones too, but just for this series, we are just going to be doing root, sacral, solar plexus, our heart, our throat, our third eye, and our crown. So today is solar plexus, and I just wanted to again say that chakras are whirling, transmuting, processing areas within and around our body. They help to hold and process our emotions, and they carry all those emotional energies. They're kind of the bridge between our physical body and our spirit, and everything our spirit is experiencing within this world, and the energy between our spirit and our body. So it's just really kind of cool to kind of imagine it that way. The 7 chakras have different color attributes. Root is red, sacral is orange, solar plexus, what we're studying today, is sun, is yellow, golden. Our heart is green, our throat is light blue, our third eye is a beautiful indigo, and our crown is represented by the color purple. So when we're thinking of solar plexus, we're thinking of all that sunshiny energy. And another name for solar plexus and the physical attribute that it comes from is named after the celiac plexus, which I believe exits out of our T12 and L1 vertebrae. So it's going off and integrating with the rest of our body. And so it's a whole big cluster of nerves that works with your abdominal aorta, which is a big, huge artery right here that pumps blood down into our legs and down into our lower body and back into our heart. So there's so much action going on within this area just physically. And so not to forget to mention that, I mean, this whole area has like our liver, our gallbladder, our pancreas, our adrenals. Our adrenals are what help us process stress. So there's just so much energy, physical energy being processed within this area. And so the spiritual or energetic solar plexus, we're not talking about the cluster, we're talking about the energetic area, actually starts right underneath our xiphoid process, which is a little bony structure on the bottom tip of our rib cage. You can see this. It's right, see our ribs kind of come up in the front, and right here is our xiphoid process. And if you touch it, it almost feels a little pokey or a little tender. It's right where the under part of our diaphragm, or right under here with our rib cage kind of comes. So 3 inches below that, and about like our midline where our belly button is. So in this whole area is where we process different forms of energy relating to emotions of our personal power and taking leadership of our life. Not to forget to mention that we have all kinds of different muscles, like our abs and all the movements that this part of our body does with our spine. Like later on in the class, we'll be talking about movement and stretching and how to like really give blessings and vitality to all these beautiful organs. So I just wanted to point out just how much energy is within this area. And next we're going to be talking about emotional energy. If we talked about this concept that everything is energy, Nikola Tesla, I always use this analogy, but he said that to understand like the mysteries of the universe, think of everything in terms of energy and vibration. So when we think of everything in this world, it has a vibration. We talked about, this chair, and all the physical things in this world are made up of energy. Some of the molecules are really slow and almost solid, and some are like higher. And like you think of like bass in music, it's like, a vibration compared to like higher instruments that it has a different vibration. So emotions are no different. So when you have emotions like feeling like insecure, or feeling like unmotivated, or feeling even grief, those energies can feel like lower, and they can be harder for our physical body and our psyche and our spirit to kind of release. And then higher emotions like joy and excitement and laughter and silliness, those like are higher vibrations, and those are kind of easier and even like feels physically lighter to experience them and hold them if you pay attention to what your body is saying. So the idea is that some of those things can get trapped, and I can't even tell you, even as a massage therapist, how many times I would see people come in and they would be experiencing something so painful for their heart, and their back muscles are super tight, or someone that you can tell, like a woman that has been keeping her voice in and just like, like their jaws are tight, or someone that is doing lots of computer work and just totally in their mind, like, having tension in your head and your neck. So pent up energy, stress, and all that does affect our health. That's not to say that any of this energy healing can cure or treat a disease or diagnose a disease, but we are fools if we don't see that everything is connected. So health is multifaceted, whether it's eating right and drinking water and exercise and releasing what stresses we have of the day and getting sleep and all these different forms of self-care, taking care of our spirit, taking care of our minds and learning. It's so multifaceted. So I'm hoping just to tie a few of those little loose ends together within this class and give you some different tools. But first, let's continue to talk about emotional energy. A healthy human body usually vibrates at about 68 to 72 gigahertz. And like those lower vibrations, like we said, can kind of get stuck within our body. And our limbic system is the part of our body that processes memory. So all the memories you have and the emotions tied within it gets processed within our limbic system. And it's super magical that the limbic system also processes our sense of smell. Isn't that amazing? So it processes our sense of smell. So one of the tools that we are going to be starting with is going to be essential oils, because they can actually boost the vibration of your emotional process. They can access that limbic system, and combine with like meditation and mantras and really trying to reframe some of our memories and our thoughts and beliefs with them lovingly holding our hands. They really have the ability to transform our inner world. And plants, especially if you have, I use Young Living oils because they are some of the purest, pristine, therapeutic essential oils on the planet. We're talking about like 2 to 300 megahertz. If our body is 68 to 72 gigahertz, these are totally in megahertz. So they, whether you are inhaling them or ingesting them, Young Living has pure enough oils that are beyond organic to be able to ingest. And that's the only brand that I would ever vouch for, because that is some of the ways that I use to treat my health and vitality and some of my energy healing. So we are going to be doing talking about all kinds of different tools, from reflexology to self-massage to we'll do a meditation at the end. We'll do some stretching. I'll show you one of my massage tools that can really help mid-back pain. But the first of our tools that ties into emotional energy, I just wanted to show you this reference. It's called Releasing Emotional Patterns with Essential Oils by Carolyn Mine. And she really helps us to identify different emotions, like maybe say lower vibe emotions that we experience, and how to like really love and bless ourselves to be able to find the way through and find the other end of the spectrum of certain emotions that we feel. So next we're going to be covering the different oils and emotions that we can be using. But first, like I said, let's cover what emotions are even directly related to this solar plexus area. So a healthy solar plexus includes emotions like feeling like we have vitality and like zest for life. Like I said, it feels like we have personal power. We talked earlier about our root chakra feeling like we have a strong foundation to build our life on. Like our sacral chakra is all about our feminine energy and like being able to create. Well, our solar plexus almost feels like this is the creation, like really taking form into the world. This is like the inner leader that follows her dreams, is motivated and goes off and like has the self-discipline to like go off and pursue the life that she wants. So that is like feeling like healthy and like we have processed our emotions within this area. It also has like fire energy, action, creation, learning to trust our gut instincts when we're building this life that we want. To know that there is imbalanced chakra, you can envision some emotions that are kind of the other end of some of these things. That's not to say that our chakras don't fluctuate, like say even day to day or throughout the day, and feeling like some of these things might be triggered, or it can just kind of compound itself if you've had different areas in your life that have kind of like triggered and added on some emotional baggage in this area. These are some of the feelings that you can be feeling. You can kind of just feel sluggish, like you just don't really know what to do with your life and finding your purpose. You can feel lack of ability, like insecure to even be able to go off and do, even if you have the dreams and the vision for it, you just have the insecurity to go off and create them. You can feel out of control, like you just don't really feel like you can act. Like you feel like stuck and unmotivated, insecure, you feel lost. You can feel like you just don't know how to change, or an aversion and fear around change. You just feel like low vibes and kind of like bummed and sad, if I can think of the right words. You can feel stalled or bored or scattered or stuck, or sometimes feeling like unnoticed, like you're not the leader, you just kind of feel lost and like people don't even see you. Can also just feel like confused or not even knowing how to trust your intuition or where you need to go. And so just think, we're gonna pause with video 2 here in a minute. I want you to just kind of think of where you feel along in that spectrum. Do you feel empowered? Do you feel like you want to like go off and find motivation to like create from your spirit, from your heart? Are you feeling kind of insecure and maybe low self-esteem about going off and finding your inner leader of your own life? And think about maybe where you might have learned that. So if you want to write down on a piece of paper where you are feeling healthy within your solar plexus, the feelings you might be feeling that feel kind of imbalanced, and maybe try to like look back and see where maybe you might have learned that, or where those feelings have come from, or experiences that you might have had that are contributing to those feelings. Those are a great place to start. And so next we are going to go over oils and really trying to harness some of the power of our words, and going over some other different tools to shift the energy. But I just have to tell you, even if you don't have oils or any of the other tools within this class, like your mind and your spirit have the ability to transform so much, friend. Do. It's all within you. So much of energy healing and loving ourselves totally starts in here and here. And like what you say and catching the different beliefs that you have. And so putting it down in paper might make you just feel more conscious. It might make you feel a little bit vulnerable, but I totally am here to want to empower you in all the different areas and emotions that you might be carrying. So Stay tuned. I'm so proud of you. I'll talk to you in a minute. Bye.